Hello everyone, Mumble360 here. Today I'm going to be talking about a YouTuber by the name of Vegan Gains, which is someone which is obviously a vegan. And, as much as I can somewhat see where he's coming from, at the same time there's a lot of problems about the content that he makes, and in all honesty, I thought that this would be the perfect time to go make a video on him. Now, I'm just going to make this small disclaimer. This video isn't meant to attack him or harass him, but only to criticize his channel, and to possibly give some advice in the future. So with that out the way, I feel like it should be a perfect time to start talking about his channel. Now, when it comes to the content of Vegan Gains, I'm not going to talk about his gaming content, his vlogs, or whatever else he does. I'm just going to be focusing on one type of video, which is the one where he pretty much tries to criticize someone or try and just straight up bash someone simply because they're not vegan. Now, for a recent example, Vegan Gains made a video trying to criticize someone by the name of Penguin Zero, or commonly known as Charlie, for making a video on So Young, which practically was torturing squids, and made a video about it, thinking that it was a smart idea. And Vegan Gains said it'd be a smart idea to try and criticize Penguin Zero and say that, oh, you can't talk about So Young like that when you're the same person that would pay someone to do that simply so you can eat meat or something along the lines of that, which in all honesty made no sense whatsoever. And the main problem with Vegan Gains is that he just never learns from time and time again that if you're going to criticize someone, you at least need to come up with an argument which is actually valid and an argument which actually makes sense. Because throughout all of his videos, or every single time that he attempts at making a video where he goes to try and call out someone or criticize someone, it's more or less for some petty reason other than for some reason that actually makes sense. Another problem with Vegan Gains is the way how he tries and acts superior, or pretty much is very toxic whenever he criticizes people. Now, I'm not saying he does this all the time, but this guy has had a history of doing stuff like this, and it's pretty goddamn ridiculous. Let me show you an example of the bullshit that he does.
Know why I'm not well liked on YouTube. It's not just because I'm just an annoying asshole. It's because this platform is filled with willfully ignorant, dishonest liars like you who can't handle the truth. That's
And this is exactly what Charlie mentioned, and which is what I'm about to mention. See, what you do instead of actually being able to take a criticism or being able to take a response is just be a condescending asshole at times and not even be someone that can make a point which makes you seem like you're actually knowing about what you're talking about. Because that whole thing about making Charlie seem as if he's someone that's being ignorant and someone that's not willing to accept the truth is stupid. Because what he did throughout that entire video was counter your arguments in a way which actually, I don't know, seemed valid. And I'm not trying to seem like a bad guy here, but at the same time, it's kind of hard to take a person seriously when at the same time, the other guy is acting like some 12-year-old which is constantly getting killed in Call of Duty and can't even listen to his own hypocrisy or can't even stand the fact that he's being called out with his own points. So this is the part where I make my conclusion, and I can say this. I think that Vegan Gains can be someone to make some pretty decent points on veganism, especially considering that his latest video brought some pretty decent points in response. But he does lack one thing, which is actually being able to take criticism still, and he still makes the same mistakes that he's been doing for the past few years, which is straight up which is not harassing, but just bashing people for stupid reasons, and also by trying to back up his points by using reasons which still make little to no sense. But, in the end, I still do believe that he can make some pretty decent points, and that he could bring some pretty good arguments and actually make a change in the vegan community, considering the fact that he's one of those people which kind of give it a bad name by being very toxic and not being so different from everyone else, which pretty much does the exact same thing. And no, I'm not trying to say that every single vegan is a bad person. I'm just saying there's a lot of them which are toxic assholes. So, that was the end of the video. And for all my subscribers and for people which aren't even subscribed, I hope you enjoyed the video as I worked pretty tediously throughout my day in order to make this. And also, I wanted to mention this. So, I'm going to be working on a DinkTubers video, which is something which I have been planning on making for a while, or something which I really wanted to make in a long time, but I just kind of forgot about it. Mainly due to just me running out of ideas, and mainly me just being focused with almost everything else. So, I'm going to be working on that for a while. Maybe, I'm not sure how long it's going to take, but I might be able to cook up something maybe in a few days, I don't really know. But that's all, folks. I hope you enjoyed, and Lowell360 out. Later!